Hey there, beautiful souls. Today, let's dive into the enchanting world of aromatherapy with our Sassy Essentials candles. Picture this. You light a candle, and as the flame dances, it melts away your worries, creating a serene space for your intentions to flourish. These aren't just any candles. They're infused with carefully selected essential oils that uplift your spirit and elevate your mood. Whether you're seeking clarity, relaxation, or a burst of creativity, there's a scent that resonates with your desires. As you set your intentions, let the warm glow and delightful aromas guide you on your journey. Embrace the magic of the moment and remember, you have the power to manifest your dreams. So, grab your favorite candle, light it up, and let the good vibes flow.
Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back. This is episode 2 on Sassy's Tarot and Podcast. And today we're going to ask a big question. Okay. Are you really loving them or just loving your story? Okay. So before we do that, let's throw in a little intro, right? I had a dream. I got everything I wanted. I had a dream. So, we get attached and we fall into patterns, and sometimes the person in front of us isn't really the person we need. So today we're going to figure out the difference, and I've got a little tarot ritual for you too as a bonus, right? So whether you do it for yourself or just listen along, it's going to be powerful. Let's talk about the difference between love and attachment. Okay? Attachment can feel exciting, but often it leaves you, I would say, anxious, drained, or stuck in old patterns. Okay? Real love, right? It feels nourishing. It feels safe, and it lets you grow with laughs, and you can actually breathe. So you need to ask yourself, do I feel alive or anxious? How do I feel, right, in this relationship? Am I loving them, or am I loving the version of them that I want? So, am I staying because it feels familiar, or because it's real? What can I say? This is good noting because it helps you to digest what's going on. In my past episode, one comment I made, or a tip I made, was you have to take time to reflect. That was towards the end of the video. You have to reflect on your childhood, past, your traumas, etc. that happened then. But here, it's definitely good to take a step back and try to look at your situation from a third person view, not just what you got going on, right? So the thing is, your past matters, but your heart is bigger than your story. So you can step into real love, right? But you definitely have to do a little bit of the homework, because sometimes you get caught up in, the little honeymoon stage, the little butterflies in your stomach, the whispers and sounds of somebody offering this and that to you that could really make an impact in your life. You know, things you're craving and how they just appear like a knight in shining armor. And women, you know, like a madam in distress, you just got to save her. But yeah, so we're going to do a short tarot reading together. You can pick a card, and if you're listening, just pick A, B, or C. And what I'm going to do is each card I'm providing you is going to give you a guidance about your relationship. Like, is it real love or attachment holding you back? That's just for right now, right? Okay. So this is how it works. We take a deep breath. Now you can light a candle. And if you're watching this and you got my candle, light my candle up if you want. Just to add a little something in there, right? You would want the pink one. Or you can do white. And that's for your heart clarity. And we're going to focus on the question. Am I loving them or just my story? By the way, if you're not near a candle or you don't use the candles or you don't have a candle, whatever, that's fine too. It was just a little intention setting, manifesting the mood thing for my viewers and listeners that play around with candle magic. So here we go. You're going to pick A, B, or C, and whatever pops out is for you. That's simple. Okay, so if you picked card A, you got the Lovers. And this is from the Light Tears Tarot deck. So in case for those that might not be aware. And so this card shows alignment and harmony. If you picked A, you're likely in a space of real love. Or at least a relationship with potential for growth and balance. But you do have to remember, even real love needs honesty and intention. So you need to ask yourself, is this connection nourishing your heart? Right? Is this connection giving me the fulfillment that I need? But not just in a partner point of view, like the physical. Is this also helping with my self-love and self-care? You shouldn't allow your relationships, love, personal, etc., to influence and override your first important task that you must always take care of, and that's your self-love. Okay? Not task, priority. For pile B, you have the Five of Cups. If you picked B, this relationship may be more about loss, regret, or longing. So you could be clinging to a story, memories, or what could have been, rather than what it is. It's literally a gentle reminder. Letting go doesn't mean failure. Okay? It means choosing yourself first. And that connects to what I just stated for card A pile, where self-love comes in first. Don't let that take over your priority of number one, which is you. Okay? That love relationship is supposed to fulfill and help for you to keep working on you. So if you picked pile C, card C, you have the Two of Swords. And well, this pile, It's reflecting all about choice and clarity. If you picked this, then you're at crossroads. Your heart might be conflicted, torn between fear and love. So, the universe is asking you to pause, reflect, and trust your intuition. To trust your intuition before making decisions. Because sometimes love needs space to breathe. Okay? Sometimes the heart needs space to breathe. A good way now, I would say as a little tip, is if you want, you can journal your thoughts about your pick. And this goes for everybody, and whichever pile you picked. You can journal your thoughts about your pick, and then you light a candle. If anything, that same candle that you have there lighted up if you used it. And you would meditate on it for a few minutes. Okay? See what your emotions will surface. And then you listen, and your intuition will guide you. You'll know what is the right way, the right path to go on the next steps ahead. You just feel it in your heart. You know, our mind doesn't have feelings. It's going to go by logic. It's going to go by protecting you. It's going to go about making decisions that are going to give a concrete solution, like a reality check. Your heart is the one that's emotional. Your heart is the one that, if anything, sometimes makes you go for things that some people would be like, are you kidding me? Why would you do that? You picked him, you picked her. You decided to follow your heart instead of your head, because sometimes in reality, yeah, you might need to follow your head, your brain, because it's just there to protect you. It's there like in survival mode. It's there to make sure that you're making decisions that are not going to affect you and it. Your heart's the one that's a little bit more mischievous. It's going to go based on how you feel or the emotions that you've been collecting, building up from all the events that have been occurring in your life currently, right? Connecting to that situation, things that have happened before and how it made you feel. You're going to go to the next person. Like, let's say you had a past relationship. You're going to, now in this current person, you're going to reflect those emotions of your heart. It's going to reflect on how the last person made you feel. Do you have any feelings of what's happening in this one? Does it remind you, you know, all that comparison and shit. And then your brain is still going to give you those logical points. And that's what we call sometimes red flags. Your heart's not worried about no red flags. Your heart is worried about what makes you feel good. If you think your heart is making you feel safe, that is wrong. That's your brain. And I'm not saying it's always bad. I'm saying for these conflicting occurrences with pile C, even B and A, you can put that into use as well, because like I said, even if the relationship, everything feels healthy and whatnot, you still need to reflect using, you know, your self-love and care. You have to make that your priority. Is it reflection of, is this helping me to continue working on my journey, to building me up to get past certain challenges that I had within myself? If a person is there and just giving you like confidence, comments all day, compliments on you to make you feel better. Oh, you're pretty. Oh, you're pretty. Oh, you're pretty. That's cool that you like having somebody there to give you the words that you don't believe within yourself. But you have to then start saying it to yourself too. Yeah, I know I'm pretty, right? I know I'm pretty. Not to them, but to yourself. Oh, yeah, he's right. She's right. I am pretty. They're right. I'm pretty. So this starts within you. So whichever pile it is, let's not forget the self-love and care. I tattooed it on me, all right? I have this flower here with a stem is self-love. That's what it says. To remind myself too, because sometimes you get so lost and glimpsical in your head with love. Me being a Pisces sun, right? That's something that conflicts us. You're just worried about how this person is making you feel, your heart. Ooh. So anyways, regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed that short reading for whichever pod you picked, you're watching or hearing. And I hope that now you can put that into some meditation. Maybe that's the message you needed to hear right now. You need a little clarity, a little confirmation, etc. Something to work on to start in your journal. Beautiful souls. Whether you picked A, B, or C, or you just listened, like I said, now you have an insight. And therefore, real love lifts you. That's it. Attachment drains you. Is this codependency? I think I have a video on that, or I had a video. And your heart is always capable of knowing the truth. Now, remember I said, your heart is focused on what makes you feel good. But don't forget to put your brain into it to help you depict the things that are needed to make this connection go. So you take your time, reflect, journal, light your candle. And remember, loving yourself first is never selfish. It's essential. I wanted to go a little bit more depth into the topic. I feel like a tarot reading is good, but that's not the main point of this topic, of this podcast episode, right? So I'm going to say, now here's the hard part, right? Listening to that truth. The truth. Sometimes it means having those tough conversations. Setting boundaries. Or even walking away. And yes, that's scary. But staying in a story that isn't real love will only drain you. Plain and simple. It will only drain you. You deserve a love that's lifting you, supports your growth, right? And feels like home. Not just excitement or comforting your old wounds. Remember, loving yourself first is never selfish. In fact, it's the only way to truly see love for what it is. Attachment often comes with anxiety, like you're constantly on edge, wondering if they'll leave, if they'll text you back, if you're enough, right? Love, on the other hand, feels secure. You don't have to, like perform for it. You don't have to beg or shrink yourself for their needs to be who they want, how they see love and people and their type. Your hair is black, you must dye it blonde to fit into their preferences. It just is. A trauma bond can trick you into thinking it's love because it feels intense. But intensity isn't the same as intimacy. One burns you out, the other nourishes you. Okay? One burns you out, the other nourishes you. I gave the little example about, if your hair is black and you have to dye it blonde, etc. for their liking, because I've seen many cases, I think I've even gone through stuff like that, where you feel, oh, but I always see that they're looking at this, that they're liking women like that, or they made a comment, or they, they had a picture in the walls of these type of women, or whatever. And then you're like, oh, if I did my hair like this, then they're for sure gonna want me now. And so you change yourself, you push yourself lesser, you try to do things just for their liking and pleasures. And you can't get them accustomed to that. And I'm not talking about a gender, I'm just talking about love, the person in general, because that will literally catch up. And you catch yourself replaying the same relationship cycles. Like the same type of fights, same types of partners. Pause and ask, what part of me is being fed by this? Sometimes our wounds crave familiar connections, right? And so more than our heart, I would say, craves peace. Familiar things, familiar feelings, familiar energy, right? Something that you feel safe in versus going into something new. And so you cannot heal in the same environment, though. That hurt you. That's why doing clarity work, like tarot, journaling, or candle rituals, isn't just woohoo, woohoo magic, whatever. It's how we break free from the loop. Walking away from attachments doesn't mean you failed. It means you finally choose yourself. And honestly, that's one of the bravest things you'll ever do. Love is not meant to feel like survival. If being with them feels like you're constantly in fight or flight mode, that's not love. The what's the quote? Ride or die. Where are we riding to? And why we gotta die? That's sometimes the question pop up there, no? So it's literally like your nervous system is clinging to what's familiar. Real love calms your spirit. That clinginess that you have from your nervous system is because, again, it feels familiar environments that help it, to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I just need to continue acting like this because I've always done that. Now, ask yourself tonight or this morning, if you're into watching in the morning, am I loving them, or am I just scared to let go of my story? If it's the story, you have the power to rewrite it. That's your magic. That's your healing. That's that. So, here we are. Episode 2. I want to say thank you guys for joining me today. If this episode helped you, okay, in any way, and you know somebody who might need a little something too, share with them. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Do your comments if you want to at the bottom. Express how you feel. Any of the messages and the cards resonated. This is us creating a safe space and, learning to create the right kind of energy for your love life. That's what it is. Being this as our safe space, from all the messages that I'm going to be bringing to you guys in these episodes, I feel like whatever topic we are covering over, we need to then reflect on the messages given, right? Even myself, that's why I said journaling is good. I'll literally sit there and journal and be like, okay, so I'm thinking next topic, because things are going on in my own life, things that are happening to somebody I know, things that like I watched and I was like, nah, I gotta talk about it. So whether you got this card, or this card, right? Which is basically, you know, the Two of Swords, the Lovers, and the Five of Cups. This isn't the whole picture. This was a piece of a message I need to tell you that connected to your relationship, the connection you have going on right now. You have to do the homework. To make changes, you got to put in the work. If you've done the same thing over and over and over, how in the heck can you expect a new result? If you have used the same key in a door for 5 years and it never opens, then when are you going to realize that maybe you need to go and try another one? Maybe you need to call a locksmith for somebody to go ahead and open this thing and then make you a copy of the right one. Same actions, same results. You want something different, you got to make a change. You have to spice it up. That's the only way. But instead of the person you're with, you know, let's talk about new love. You're with this person, they're bringing you feelings of something that happened in the past, of somebody. You know, how did that relationship end for you? Why did that relationship end? Who did it? And be bluntly honest. Don't be like, yeah, they did it. No. Reflect on what the heck is the purpose of what happened there. The good and the bad. And you could take little notes from that one to put into your present. But then that's the question. Why keep getting in relationships with the same type of people? Is it because it feels like a familiarity? That's how you say the word. And so you feel like you know how to adapt around it, that environment. But unfortunately, you might need to change it up. Step into the unknown. And it might be better than you ever thought. If this is for an old relationship and you've been with the same person 100 years, I know that once you're like 60, I'm going extreme here, 40, 50 years old, and you've been with the same person since you're like 20 or 30. I get it, why would I bounce? But sometimes some of those people are not good for you. So until the next time, guys, light it, melt it, set your intention is my motto for my candles. And I'll see you in the next episode. Think. Bye-bye.